to World Crisis Radio. Webster Tarpley here in Washington, and we're speaking by phone with Phil Berg, the distinguished lawyer from Philadelphia, who has just been in another skirmish with the Obama administration here. Eric Holder, the U.S. Attorney General, refuses to investigate whether Obama is indeed a natural-born citizen qualified for the presidency. Phil, I think you said that your case included a demand for a special prosecutor. Am I right?
No. During my argument, I said to His Honor, I said, if you don't think it's sufficient material here for you to grant me to handle this case as the relator, perhaps you should appoint a special prosecutor to review the material without any input from the Attorney General or Department of Justice because of a conflict of interest. Of course, that wasn't ruled on, and the Department of Justice just ignored me on that. But there's definitely a conflict of interest here, and I think it needs a special prosecutor. And we're going to keep pursuing this because this is outrageous. I mean, think about it. Not only would he have taken salary, his expenses also would be have to come back to the U.S. Treasury. So we're talking about close to $1 million. And again, the suit I had pending had only dealing with his U.S. Senate seat, not with the presidency. Of course, it would have ramifications for the presidency, but that's why we just filed it on the U.S. Senate, and it's, I think, an out-and-out disgrace. And we put out a press release. Hopefully it'll get spread. Hopefully someone will pick it up out there, and we appreciate people spreading the word on that. And if anyone can make a contribution to us, we could really do it. But even more important than the money right now is spreading the word to as many people as you can. And I know this is a great show to be on, but I know some of your listeners know some of these other talk show hosts, and I'm not afraid of anyone. I'll get on there and I'll defend myself against O'Reilly or Limbaugh or anyone else. And I think it's an issue that should be dealt with by the national media, and hopefully we'll get it there.
Certainly, and if you have somebody like Hannity who claims to be the most aggressive of Obama's opponents, he should certainly put you on. Otherwise, he's pulling his punches, isn't he? He's not really getting to the bottom of the Obama question. All right, Phil, that's tremendous. Now, just remind us again the other lines of litigation that you still have, just so that we keep up with them too.
Sure, I have a case still pending in the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. That's on the issue of standing, and I have another issue in the D.C. Court of Appeals on the issue of the interpleader action for the retired Air Force Colonel Hollister, who is on ready recall from the president. He wants to know if he is recalled, does he accept the offer from a legitimate president, or does he turn down the order from an illegitimate or usurper president? And those cases are pending. One of these days we'll get a quo warranto up there. We're doing a sign campaign. We want to spread the word right now. Also, in passing, it's on my website. Unfortunately, I had to sue Orly Tates. She's a loose cannon. I usually don't go against other attorneys, but she's gotten out of hand. She's been illegally breaking the law by trying to bring me down. Makes no sense. She must be working for Obama or something. Through my paralegal, and she's taken my paralegal's name, date of birth, and social security number and spread it throughout the world. And that's in violation of state and federal laws, and I've gone after her. I actually have taken a default judgment against her. There's a law in California that says for every person you send it to, you're indebted to the victim being Lisa, my paralegal, for the sum of $3,000. And we know she's dispersed this now over to close to at least 150,000 different people. So we're going after her hook, line, and sinker. It's a disgrace. The focus has to be on the birth certificate of Obama. Orly Tates has been just getting publicity, but for no good. And she should be disbarred. Let her go back to being a dentist, and people can check that on my website. I usually don't like attacking someone else, but when someone like that got out of hand, I had to do that.
All right, so we're looking forward to those long-awaited oral arguments in the Third Circuit in Philadelphia in that question. Your original suit started at the Supreme Court in August of last year, before the Democratic National Convention. And we wish you all the best. I urge everybody, go to Phil's website, make a contribution, obamacrimes.com. And keep in touch, and we'll do whatever we can to send out that press release on the outrageous action by this federal district judge, and the even more outrageous action by Eric Holder, whose contempt for the law could not be more evident. And of course, Obama is the one who's supposed to take care that the laws be faithfully enforced, he's not doing it. So very disturbing.
And Obama keeps saying how his administration is going to be so open and transparent. That's baloney, like many other things he's saying. And we just want the truth. And if he can show that he's entitled to be president, show it. But because he hasn't showed it, every day that goes by, I know that he's a fraud. This is the biggest hoax ever contemplated against the United States of America in 230 years. And Obama and Howard Dean and Michelle Obama should be held accountable for this.
Phil, there's also we would be amiss, I think, if we didn't mention it. This incident here, the white supremacist who showed up at the Holocaust Museum this week and committed murder, as far as we can see. This is the accused gunman James Van Brunn of Annapolis, Maryland. In my view, this is the kind of provocateur that you get from the intelligence agencies. They have stables of these people. It turns out that this character had been babbling on some website about Obama and his ability to serve as president, right? Is he an illegal alien? And you can see that there's an attempt to demonize anybody who asks for birth certificate or who brings up the Constitution in this case. You're going to be demonized as a white supremacist. And I think that's exactly where just the fact that you're doing this with your background and your track record, Democratic county chairman, Democratic state committeeman, Democratic Party candidate for governor and senator of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you are a refutation of this hysteria, which has been growing among the liberals on the various cable television networks.
Right, and I'm hoping then by my background to be able to legitimize this cause. And these people that are all joking about it, then stop joking about it and ask Obama for his birth certificate. And when he can't produce it, then you'll be on my side.
Okay, wonderful. So you are the key man, and I think that allows us to judge the wrecking activity of somebody like Orly Tates. In other words, people that are somehow trying to harass you, their motivations are among the darkest, let's say. Okay, so thanks very much, Phil. We'll see you soon. See you next week. And that's ObamaCrimes.com. You want to go there and make a contribution. And, of course, we condemn the actions of this Van Brunn. But, again, you have to point out this is the typical kind of provocateur sent out by the domestic intelligence agencies to try to create different effects. Now, returning to the questions of economics.